Alrighty, it is Friday the 13th, and you know what that means. It's time to watch a Friday the 13th movie, but the problem is you've got a lot of them to choose from. Picking the right one can be a bit of a task. Let's go through them and figure out which one's right. First up, you got the OG, Sean Cunningham's just low-budget movie that blew up, became a giant fantastical thing. They came up with the name and the advertisement before they even knew what the damn movie was. But I think everyone almost knows what this is at this point. If you don't know the spoiler, I don't know how you've gotten on the planet this long. Congratulations, but you should watch this and check it out and everything. It's fine. Up next, Friday the 13th, Part 2. This is a terrible cover. Let me see if I can change this. Really? This versus this. What? You guys didn't even try for Part 2. Friday the 13th Part 2 is fine. You've got Baghead Jason, which is a pretty iconic kind of look and everything. First time we get adult Jason and whatnot. Ultimately, though, is Part 2 one that you really go back to and remember a whole bunch? I know I certainly don't. Up next is the iconic Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. Listen, you get the first appearance of the hockey mask. It was supposed to be kind of a one-off thing and became so damn iconic. It just got baked into the pie from that point on. Without actual 3D, or even with 3D, the 3D effects are corny and stupid. The worst that you want for when you have a 3D movie where the yo-yo's coming right at the screen. Just corny ass stuff. But ultimately, it's a decent entry into the series. You've got Shelley, who's like the second most annoying character next to Franklin. Outside of all that, Friday the 13th Part 3 3D is pretty decent. All right, fourth up in the series is Friday the 13th, the final chapter. This was set up to be the ultimate one. Everything is coming to a close here. Jason is finally gonna get his, and we're gonna close this thing out forever. And then we did 78 more films. Listen, this one is most people's favorite because it's got a lot of great makeup effects in it. You got Corey Feldman being a little kid going absolutely ape at the end. Highly, highly recommended if you're gonna watch one this evening. This is on the Mount Rushmore of Friday the 13th movies. Come on. Alrighty, up next is Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. This was supposed to be kind of a new take. Well, no Jason, but somebody kind of acting like Jason. This movie got crapped on a whole bunch for many, many years, but I think a lot of people are actually coming around to it. While not a proper Jason Voorhees movie per se, I think there's worse movies in this series. Up next is Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Oh man, if you don't got Jason in your last movie, you got to bring him back for this movie. And if you're bringing him back, why don't you bring back Tommy Jarvis as well? Sounds like a brilliant plan, but don't cast Corey Feldman. That would have been a big mistake. But honestly though, this movie is a lot better than I think people give it credit for. When I first saw it when I was younger, I thought this is terrible. But looking back, this one's not that bad. You know, it's a Friday the 13th movie, so. The hits keep on coming. Up next, we got Part 7, The New Blood. Jason is at the bottom of the lake, and boy, oh boy, he's waiting to get out. But don't worry, on the other side, we got a girl with telekinetic powers who can see the future. The makeup in this movie is so awesome. Just come on. If you haven't watched Part 7, get on it. All right, up next, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. If you haven't seen this one, the plot is Jason Voorhees gets on the Staten Island ferry and goes in and gets a slice of pizza. If you think that didn't happen, just watch this movie. It's exactly what happens. Boy, oh boy, if Jason Takes Manhattan wasn't enough for you, let's get you to the bottom of the barrel. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Here's a hint, it wasn't the final Friday. This one is a real Class A stinker. I know it's got its fans. I think those people are stupid. You know, before the year 2002, everyone was saying, boy, I hate Jason Voorhees being on planet Earth. Can't he go to space? And boy, oh boy, did they deliver with Jason X. That's right, Jason Voorhees, your friendly neighborhood slasher. You know, if you thought Manhattan was big, we're going to space now, baby. This movie sucks. It is pretty terrible. There's one good kill in it, the dry ice kill. That's badass. The rest of this movie, and some people might say the little drill thing. No, It's the dry ice, that's it. This movie stinks. I'd like to thank you for going through this marathon. We only have 78 more films to go. All right, up next is Freddy vs. Jason from 2003. I was living in Orlando at the time, and I was going to film school. Everybody was talking about Freddy vs. Jason, how amazing it was when it first came out. And I was like, this sounds terrible. There's no way I need to see that. And then it came to the second run theater, which was on Colonial Avenue. It cost 75 cents on Tuesday. So I went, and this place was absolutely packed of every different type of person that you could possibly imagine. Young, old, black, white, Hispanic. It was unbelievable. And the raucous crowd with this movie in 2003 for 50 cents that night was absolutely amazing. Is it the greatest movie in the world? No. Is it stupid and fun? Absolutely. I'd still go back to this. I haven't in a while. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. The last one is 2009's Friday the 13th, the remake. I like this movie. I like this movie. I know it has its detractors and everything, but the first 20 minutes is like super long, amazingly cool cold open, because you don't get the title screen until 20 minutes into this movie. The opening sequence is so great. It goes through 3 movies and then boom, you're right into the middle of it. My only complaint with this movie is that a lot of the kills are very samey, a lot of stabby sort of stuff. They even threaten a couple of kills that you're just like, ooh, that's gonna be a good one, and then nothing actually happens. But it just goes, oh, now we're stabbing you. Sorry about the stab. But ultimately, I do like this one. All right, it's down to this. What movie am I going with? Friday the 13th. Part 7. Listen, this one's, it's nice. It's standalone. You don't have to worry about any pre-stuff, post-stuff. It's just a good old-fashioned time. So, what's your favorite Friday the 13th movie?